everybody, and welcome to Arsenal X, Boss Rush's Xbox podcast. I am your host, Jesse Douglas, and I am here with Eddie V. How's it going, Ed?
It's going good. Root beer floats, they're so good. I have a taste for one. As we started the show, in a way, talking about root beer floats, and now we're talking about barcades and good restaurant food, like sitting down at a place and relaxing.
We may have forgot to record, but hey, I think this is the first time that's happened. So ever, like as far as this show goes, anyway. So I mean, hey, that's pretty good because now we're a legit podcast, and we've finally had where we forgot to record.
Yes.
Because every great podcast has one of those episodes where they either forgot to record or completely was lost to the ether. So now we're officially a real podcast.
Yes.
So we were just kind of talking about all different kinds of things with I think just an amalgamation of all the things that we've been thinking about for a long time now, while we've been stuck kind of, half-ass only getting to really, travel. So, because I'm like I was kind of saying before we started recording, I'm finally getting to go to a place in Upper Michigan that I've been wanting to go to for a long time now, and it's Mackinaw Island, where they make some of the best, I'm not even gonna say some of the best, it is the best chocolate that's made in the US, and there's only select brand that actually uses, there's a couple of brands that use Mackinaw Island fudge in their ice cream, but there's only one ice cream brand that is worth trying, because in my opinion it is the best ice cream brand I've ever had, and it's called Gilbert's, and unfortunately it's only available in Upper Michigan, and then even then it's only in some spots, but the actual restaurant slash place where they make ice cream and all that, they have in Marquette, Michigan, and Upper Michigan, and which is a college town, but it's so good. Their ice cream is so good, but they do a Mackinaw Island fudge, but my favorite is they do a Mackinaw Island peanut butter, and peanut butter mixture, where it's like peanut butter flavored ice cream, and there's peanut butter and chocolate swirls inside of it, and it's so good. Like anytime we go visit my wife's family, I'm always like, we have to go there in Big Boy. We've got to go to Big Boy for breakfast.
Nice.
For the breakfast buffet. I gotta get my biscuits and gravy.
I think that's for me when I go to South Bend, cause Sunday they call it hangover brunch, and we go to Eva Check, and it's like a buffet style, all of pizza, breakfast and pancakes and dessert, and it is delicious.
That sounds really good.
Oh, and it's so good. I think it's like about $12 or $30 some, and then you pay for your drink and everything. So it comes out to like $15, but you can eat all that you want. And they always have new stuff there. And they got a specific kind of sauce, like this white cream sauce that they have, that they literally make on their own. They don't sell it nowhere. They don't even sell it at their place. It is to live for.
Is it regular gravy or is it sausage gravy?
No, I think it's like a syrup sauce.
Oh, syrup.
It's like a sweet sauce.
Okay, I'm thinking like biscuit, like gravy sauce.
Oh shoot! If It could.
It's gotta have sausage gravy. You gotta have sausage and gravy in the biscuit gravy, in my opinion. I don't like just regular by itself. I've had that once, and I'm just like, man, this is like half of like why I love this, only.
I think it's different styles, because if you do just get regular gravy, because even if like you see me say it's all biscuits and gravy, it's because that there is meat that already goes along with the sauce. Along with it. But there is when you
country fried steak and eggs. Yeah, like country fried steak, there is and then just the white sauce on it. Yeah.
Right, and then it is the regular brown gravy with sausage in it that goes on that people put on their, well, not actually put on their biscuits, because you sop it up with the biscuit. You do some good sopping up biscuit and gravy with the sausage in it. It's so good. Dude, I have been put to sleep twice.
I mean, there's a million reasons why. Like, me personally, I think breakfast is one of my favorite meals of the day, just because, like, I love a good breakfast meal. Like, there's times, there's times when we make breakfast for dinner, because pancakes or whatever, just sounds good, or French toast or whatever. But like, a lot of times, like when I go to a restaurant, it could be dinner time, and I'll be like, you know what, I feel like having an omelet, because like in my opinion, omelets are universal. Like, because a good Mexican omelet, like for dinner, it's, I love breakfast.
What is what's the pancake place? Walk or something? I can't think of. Sometimes I get, because I don't make my own omelets, but when I go out to a breakfast spot and they got omelets, I'll get an omelet there being made, and it's really, really good.
We have a couple of places that make some really good omelets around here, because we next to New Jersey, we have a lot of really good diners in this town. Just small little diners, or not. I shouldn't say they're even small, but like some very, very good diners in this area, and we've got a bunch all over the place. Because I know that's a thing in New Jersey. Like, New Jersey loves their diners. And it's, that's just the thing. I think it goes back to what I was saying about, like, before we started recording, a good bar or a good restaurant is, like, in my opinion, is just one where you can just sit, you can relax, you can have a conversation, and it's not too chaotic that you can't hear your own thoughts. Just a nice place to just relax, be comfortable, and chat.
It's literally therapeutic. Like, it's for some people, it's literally therapy, because me and my friend, we do Denny's like that. Denny's is our place that we do coffee talk, that we get in, we get some good food, and I don't care what people think about Denny's. We get some good food, we sit down, and we like just have it out and just talk in. We could be goofy and ghetto and just like relaxing, but it's always just that time spending, and it's all like we always tell people, if you come with us, we're going to have our discussion stuff, but we always make sure that people tip the waiter. You're going to tip this waitress. I don't care if you didn't order anything. You better pull 15 cents out of your pocket, and you better tip this waitress.
A lot of the times, if I go to places like that, I'll be honest, I think the most I've ever tipped a waitress is like 50%. 50% of what I paid, I've tipped. I mean, because sometimes you just, because I usually tend to stick around 30% or 25 to 30%, like, as an average for me. But just because I've worked in that business, I know what it's like. I know what kind of things sometimes you have to deal with. And, it just, I want to make sure that they're, that I'm, but, that's the thing. I mean, you don't, like, I feel like most people usually stick around 20% here.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some people
I might do like $3 if I'm tipping, because if I order something and I'm taking it on the go and they got a tip, I put like $2 or $3 because that's something. But if I'm sitting in, I at least go $5 and sometimes up. And if I can't tip at that time and I see that waiter next time, I double tip them. Like I'll leave like a $10 tip to be like this to make up for my time being gone, because I probably just didn't have it at that time.
And that's the beauty of a lot of places now, like letting you be able to write it right on the thing and then it comes off of your card. Because I almost never have cash on me, so I usually just have to do that.
Yeah, all my tips come from the card for my like the bill.
But they're and the barcades and stuff, like I'm so glad that we're getting more stuff like that, because like we were saying, like it used to be the mall was the only place you could go for that stuff, and now malls are disappearing. So that like that those have been going, those were one of the first things to go around here, because we used to have at our big mall, there used to literally be a theater connected to it right by the food court. And then they had their version of like the Aladdin or whatever, kind of area that was just an arcade right before you went into the theater. And that whole part of it it was all taken out, and they did it somewhere. They put like a new theater somewhere else. And then I think that got turned in, the whole, like where the theater used to be got turned into Shields. The Shields store, the big sporting goods store. So because they like that store is massive. It's like its own big massive chunk of the mall. But one of the mall side entrance into it is it where you used to walk down the hall to go into the theater. So that all got changed into that instead, which is fine, because the new theater that we eventually got, then that's where they put this place called Funset Boulevard on, and that's all just arcade games and bumper cars, laser tag. They have the mini ski bowling and stuff. They got a whole bunch of lanes of that. They've got a restaurant inside of it. They've got mini golf. They've got, I think, like the batting cages. They've got, like all this stuff there that you can do. So like it was a big benefit in the end, because, we got all that stuff, and that all that's right next to our Woodman's. So it's like right next to one of the best grocery stores in town. So but
I know all about women, so I'll be hitting them up.
If there's something that you're looking for and you can't find it anywhere else, chances are it's going to be at Woodman's, because they've literally like they're just so massive. Like they're like their area that's for like vegetarians and vegans and all that stuff is like, it's massive. It's got its own freezer aisle. It's got, like it's crazy how big Woodman's is, and they've got like their whole bar section, their whole liquor section is like the size of like a Walgreens or something.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy, but so it's I just can't wait though to get back to kind of what we were talking. I can't wait to get like go on a a little bit of a trip, and just not have to be quite as stressed as people start getting, more and more people start getting their vaccines and stuff. So
yes,
one more week and my vaccine should be finally ready. So but
yes,
so I guess we could probably get into what we've been playing.
Yeah, so for me, started playing Nier Replicant. I didn't get to spend much time with it. since I just got it and
Yeah.
everything, and been like working and stuff. But it looks really good, really fast and fluid. I like the play style. I'm playing it on PS4, because I have the original Near Automata on PS4. So I kind of want to have that collection together. Can't wait to play more of that. Uh, Tried the R-Type 2 demo that was on Nintendo Switch. It was kind of fun. I ended up pre-ordering that game, the physical version, but it's one of those things that was just like, oh, okay, now I see where you got to do the whole level. You got to literally do the whole level in one take,
Hmm.
and stuff. Because if you die, it has this problem that it takes long to load and get you
Oh,
back
okay.
in the thing. I'm like, oh, this is about to be a good old problem for people who want some fast paced action. But I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did start up Cyberpunk 2077 back
Did
on my
you?
Xbox One. Yeah. It's running a little bit better. It's not fully there just yet. But I think I'm just gonna. I think on my day off, I'm just probably gonna take like 2 or 3 hours and just do some main campaign missions. I'm gonna get this game done. I got to get it out the way. Get my Yoshi coins and just probably just put it in the box and like uninstall it. Like I don't know this. I don't think this game is ever going to get to the way they think that it needs to be. And if they do, it's going to be for the next 5 years of them trying to get it. And maybe it is going to be Series S in PlayStation 5, where, and of course PC, where their vision of the game is at. So yeah. I it's a baffling thing that Final Fantasy VII remake could look the way that it looks and be running the way that it runs and not CD Project Red. Well, with this game, it's so weird. But yeah, that's pretty much all that I'm playing. Of course, my son Rise on Switch. Um, I'm waiting for Tunic to come because I want to
Yeah,
play that
I
game.
know.
I want Tunic
I
so
know.
bad. The demo was a weekend thing on Steam, but not
Oh,
Xbox.
okay. It was
Uh,
only a okay.
yeah,
Shoot, yeah, I missed that because yeah.
yeah, yeah. And I didn't do it or anything because um, it was one of those things that it just got put out there. Like there was like no kind of announcement or anything, or not
Hmm.
even a trailer. So I'm just like, if there's gonna be a demo, Microsoft got to get this demo also, because I would love for Microsoft to just drop a little, maybe 35-minute demo on here, give or 15-minute demo, give us an idea of how this game is going to play, so people could look forward. Because it right now. To me personally, this is just me personally. Outside of Halo, Infinite, uh, and Hellblade 2, like Tunic is the most anticipated Xbox game that I'm waiting for, that I need, and I hopefully they show it at E3. But everybody is going to be looking forward to this game. We're treating it like it's the game of the millennium or something, because we're all hyped about this game, and Biomutant is coming out soon. So
Yeah.
I think Biomutant is this week.
Is it?
I think so.
I thought it was later. I thought it was more like around 25 May 25th or something like that. I
It
thought, or
may.
27th or something like that. I don't remember offhand, but I thought it was later in the month. I could be wrong. I trust me, if I'm wrong, that would be great because yeah, I have been waiting for that game for what feels like
Dang it.
3 years now.
Okay, so Biomutant will launch on May 25th, 2001 on Steam. It
Okay.
will also be available on PS4, Xbox One. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
so it is the 25th.
Okay.
For it. Okay. Yeah.
But hey, either way, I'm looking for there's a couple of games coming out this month that I'm excited for. So, but yeah, that definitely for me though, Biomutant is one that I like when I see it, you know, like like say what you will, but like when I see that game in action and
Hmm.
like the actual game footage and stuff, to me it looks like a good polished Sony first party game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
It looks like a really well done, well polished game. Now, mind you that those clips they're showing us are only, like snippets of the game, but I would imagine that they're going to try to keep that consistency throughout the game. Like that's the thing. It's really hard to tell because this is kind of it's a new IP. It's a, kind of a newer developer as far as just like, like we don't like, they're kind of like a small team that was created to kind of, build this, and it's coming out on the new THQ, who, in my opinion, I think this new THQ has been doing a pretty good job.
They've been knocking it, dude. They've been knocking it out with some great games. I can't say anything bad about this THQ. They've been knocking it out.
Yeah, like I mean, yeah, if you have Game Pass and you like racing games, like go download and play Wreckfest. That game is seriously just so much fun. Like that's one of their games. That's one of their first games as the new THQ that they kind of like, one of the first batches of games that they had been releasing that that did amazing. They seem to be just really good at like finding these small groups of people that have talent, and saying, hey, like we'd like to publish you, and and I don't know if they're giving them money to produce help get their games up to where they need them to be and stuff. I don't really know the whole business side of it, but whatever they're doing, like they've got, whoever is there has got a great eye for talent.
Yeah.
And they've just been doing a really good job of releasing stuff. So
yeah, THQ Bounce Back. Well, definitely this new THQ. They just, like I said, they've been releasing hits, and I'm mad props to them. Mad. Yeah. And I think me and you agreed about Biomutant. Like when we first saw it, we were just like, oh yeah, we need this on Xbox One. Like we had to have it. So yeah.
Yeah, because I mean, it's not like it's doing anything new per se, but it's doing it in a way that is fresh. Like the whole idea, like I love, and I would have been fine with the mutant that you play as being that one that we've seen consistently throughout the the showing of this. But the great part about it is you get to ultimately create who what your character looks like completely from scratch. So like I do like that aspect of it. And it's got like, it gives me some like Monster Hunter feels and Ratchet and Clank feels, but then at the same time it gives me feels of like DMC and things like that. It's like a mix of all those really great game styles all put into one. Yeah,
and it literally works.
Yeah. Yeah, and it looks like it's gonna just be an amazing, like witty, fun time. Like I'm almost certain like a Ratchet and Clank or like those style of games, or like Crash Bandicoot, it's gonna have its comedy like kind of things with certain characters. And, like it just really looks like a modern day version of like I could see it being a tentpole game like a Ratchet and Clank or like those kind of games, like it's, being a good franchise that moves forward. Since day one, I think both of us have been like, okay, you've got my attention right now, because this is doing something that I think we have desperately needed and haven't really had in video games in a long time, since probably the late 90s.
Yes.
Like, because that's how it feels. It feels like a really fun, modern day game of like those fun ones we used to look forward to in the 90s. Like I said, like a Crash Bandicoot or Ratchet and Clank, or those kind of fun games. So yeah, I can't wait for that game. I'm excited. I just hope it runs well and everything. You know, like it's a smaller team, but they've really been working on that for a long time. So I think that they kind of are in the boat. It seems like where they're not ready to release that game until they know for a fact that it's to where they want it to be. You know, like a lot of these people, like you said, you know, Tunic's another one that we've been hearing about for so many years now. But because it is a smaller, I think it's just like one or two people making that game or whatever. You know, like it's been a long time, but I think they're really wanting to make sure that it's you know, properly finished and looked at and analyzed to make sure, you know, it doesn't have any major issues and all that stuff, which I am all for. You know, like we've already said, like with Halo, I'm glad that they you know, held off on releasing Halo to make it better and make
Yes.
you know, get the time. You know, people complaining about, you know, first party games not being out for new consoles and stuff. In my opinion, I'd rather have that issue than just be getting games that are half finished and end up not being a very good experience anyways. So I'm perfectly fine with all the backwards compatibility that my Xbox has. I've got plenty of stuff to play. I've been thinking about going back to my favorite game of one of my favorite games of all time. I've been thinking about going back to Far Cry 5 and playing through that again because I really just miss that. I miss that game. That game and Breath of the Wild are two games that I just miss every once in a while, and I just have to go back to them and just play them for a little bit and be like, okay, I played it a bit. I'm good for a while now. Now I can go back into playing newer stuff that's coming out.
Yeah.
I got my fix. So, but yeah. Is there anything else, Ed,
No,
anything else that you can think of?
that
Okay.
is it. I did pick up some games, but I'll talk more about that on Power Block.
Okay. Okay. I haven't played a whole lot. I've been kind of doing the grind now on multiple accounts for Fortnite because I wanted to help my kids get some of their season pass or their battle pass finished so they can get all the unlocks and stuff, and I'm kind of proud of my son. He's like I was like, oh, you've got a whole bunch of the V-Bucks or whatever, you know, from that you've unlocked for the thing, and you know, I said I'll let you do what you want with those, you know, if you feel like buying, you know, getting an emote or whatever, you know. He's like, no, I think I'm just gonna hold on to them because then I can just, you know, buy the next battle pass, and then he doesn't have to, you know, I don't have to spend extra money for it. Because that's the nice thing about their battle pass. If you choose to, you can just keep the V-Bucks that you unlock throughout the season pass, and then you can use those to buy the next season pass, and therefore your $8 that you spend for a battle pass can literally just continue to pay for itself, which is really cool. Like I think more companies need to do that with theirs, because they know very well that people are going to buy other stuff. So it's not like that's where they're making their money, is buying a battle pass. No, it's the buying outfits, it's the buying, you know, all the visual things that they're selling, you know. So like the idea that the battle pass can pay for itself, I think is a good idea. But so yeah, I've just been mostly playing that. I'm probably gonna jump on some Nier Automata and play some of that. But I did play some more MLB The Show. I do really like that game, even though I suck at it. But you know, hey, I was the Brewers and we beat the Dodgers. So
Yeah.
It is what it is. But
and and yeah, we'll probably talk about it next week because I'm like everybody was excited for MLB The Show, and now that it's out, nobody's talking about it.
Well, I mean, a lot of people are playing it and enjoying it. It's just I'm just not a baseball person, so like I'm not the person to come to when it comes to any kind of takes on that game, because to me, it is what it is. But I know like Logan, and I think Logan's been playing quite a bit of it, and I think he actually has like been streaming, or I don't know for sure, but I've this week, honestly, I've just kind of been focused on life, and I haven't really gotten a chance a lot this week to pay much attention to like the chat or what's going on. But yeah, I mean, it's a great game for what it is. It's just I'm just not into baseball, so I don't really know any better, to be honest. I mean, as far as it goes, it's not like janky, and it doesn't like, it actually runs really well, and it's got a lot of great options for how you want to play things and stuff like that. So like, in my opinion, it's a great game. So yeah, I've been playing that a little bit, and then I played a bunch of levels of the Rain on Your Parade. I did that last week, but I did play a little bit more of it. It's a fun little game. I like it. I like. Have you gotten a chance to try that at all?
Oh no, not yet.
No. Okay. Yeah. What's great about it is, so when you play the first beginning, you play like the first level, and like it's a wedding, and you got to rain on the wedding, and so like what it is it's very much like the Goose Game, where you have a checklist that's on the side of the screen of things that you can do to get points. Some of them are optional, but like that, it gets more into that stuff later on, the optional stuff. In the beginning, the first few levels, there's only like 3 or 4 things that you have to do a checklist on.
Yeah.
And so like the idea though, the whole game is basically like, like you're raining on things, but what's funny is like every time you beat a level 100%, you unlock a new hat for your cloud to wear. and the best part though is you get a full-on MS Paint thing where you get to draw on the face of the cloud, and you can make it whatever you want.
Wow.
And so, but that's after the beginning, after kind of like you do the first level and get the tutorial. Okay. So my cloud looks like an old school, like, he's got a smile, a nose, eyes, and then he's got the mustache that goes down like this. It's like a straight line, and then I have him wearing the top hat. So
I think of when I get it, I'm gonna try to give it like anime eyes, like some big anime eyes.
Yeah. So like that was a really cool part of it. I like that you can like straight on, like full on edit what your face looks like on it, and then you can make them different colors and stuff like that. But what's really cool, when they start getting into the mechanics, like really using the mechanics to do something unique, like there's one where you're at one of the levels, you're at a school, and you can you'll see these like bubble things coming up from areas. Yeah. And that's letting you know that you can that there's some precipitation or whatever happening there. So or not precipitation, that there's evaporation happening there that you can absorb and refill with liquid, to rain down on things. And so some of the things are these chemical things in the school. And so like one of the objectives, and one of them that's I believe optional, is you can go, you absorb this certain chemical that it's, that's coming up into the air, and then when you rain over the science, like beakers and stuff like that, it makes a chemical reaction happen and blows everything up. And so like, well, blows, all the petri dishes and all that stuff up, and the chemistry lab. And so like, I like that they kind of are like, have a mechanic there where you can kind of rain down different things, and if you have to use certain things to rain down on things to finish some of the objectives. It's really cool like that.
Nice.
So it's just a really fun puzzle game. And then there's all kinds of like hidden things throughout the game that you can secretly do, like mostly in the open world, where you kind of go from level to level, because like what it is after you, like when you're in the main hub, like of the level, it's like a whole big town, and then you move around as a cloud throughout this big town, and then there's different sections where when you hover over it, it'll be a level, and you have to finish levels though to unlock your way through the rest of the town.
Okay.
But when you're in that hub level of just flying all over the town and nearby islands and stuff like that, and there's water life in the oceans or whatever that are around this town and stuff like that, there's certain things you can rain on and uncover hidden things that give you certain, like give you hats and stuff like that. So it's really cool. There's, for just a little easy, simple game, they really did put a lot of like thought and creativity into it, and really made it a fun game to just sit back and play, So if you have Game Pass, or even if you don't, I forget how much it is. I think it's pretty cheap, but. It's on Game Pass though, on PC and on Xbox. So
and it's on Switch and maybe on PlayStation. But
Yep. So I had fun playing that. So, but that is pretty much it for me. So we will get into the little bit of news that we have. We don't have a whole lot today to talk about, but that's fine, because we practically give you 2-hour episodes every week anyways. So if we, have a smaller episode this week, it's, it's not
slow news.
Yeah. This is that unfortunate time leading up to E3 where they're going to hold all their cards until the last minute, until E3 happens. And then, at least for Xbox anyways, who knows what's going to happen with Sony, if they're going to do it sooner or, but that's for Crossroads to worry about.
Right.
All right. So the first thing that we have in the news here, and we, both of these news things we got from IGN.com. I've already been able to use this, but now it's out for everyone. If you have an Xbox, you no longer have to have Xbox Live Gold in order to be able to play free-to-play games online. Finally, some may say.
Right.
I completely 100% agree with that thought, is that this is something that we probably should have gotten a long time ago, but better late than never. So there's a bunch of games. I think they're like 50 games or something like that you can play then without Xbox Live. And some of them being, I only know this because of listening to another podcast that had talked about this, is I hadn't seen the list yet, but apparently, what's it called? The Xbox, crap. Now I hate when this happens. I think they have a list here, but yeah, they have a list here. But Crackdown, that's what it. Crackdown 1 and 2 are free to play games. You don't need to buy those now at all. They're just available. If you have an Xbox, you can play them. You can download them for free. You can play them for free. And you don't need to have an Xbox Live Gold membership to play them multiplayer. So, which is awesome. I mean, you know, those are some classic fun, you know, games.
Action games.
Yeah. So obviously, you know, your Fortnites, your Apex Legends, you know, Rocket League, Roblox, Destiny 2, Smite, Warframe, Brawlhalla, Enlisted, you know, obviously Call of Duty Warzone, It Takes Two. Oh, the friend pass is free. Okay, so like if you have a friend, if someone buys It Takes Two, and you have a friend pass, and you give a friend pass to someone who doesn't have Xbox Live Gold, they can still play it with you for free without having to have Xbox Live Gold, which is awesome. Like that, like to me, that's a really cool thing. Hitman 3 free starter pack is apparently there's a Rec Room, Rogue Company, Vigor, DC Universes online. Yeah, there's a whole bunch of some pretty good games in here. Paladins. Yeah, there's a bunch of really good games in here that some of these I've played. Some of them I've wanted to play, but I just haven't gotten around to. But yeah, Crackdown 1 and 2, I believe, or yeah. Well, here's Crackdown 2. Life is Strange 2 episode. So episode 1, the one that I think you got for free as like a demo, that's free to play without. So I mean, I feel like they've got a pretty good list here of games that are free. So, you know, like that you can just play without it if you know, I mean, let's be honest, a lot of these games like Fortnite, Apex and all that, I mean, those are going to be the big hitters that have a lot of people playing.
But you know what? But I don't think, Mark, I don't even think it matters anymore. You know, the only reason why is because people who got Game Pass, like you got Xbox Live, so you can hop into any kind of game. So it don't. So unless unless you're planning to get an Xbox and you plan not to have nothing online, for other multiplayer games, but you still want to play with friends and stuff, this is a good option. But I'm like, if you subscribe to Game Pass, you already get Xbox Live. So like none of this like really matters in a sense.
Well, it does for basically there's very little, right? There's very little reason, you know, to use this option. But it's a big reason, but it's just people who have kids. Like I have been waiting for this to happen, because now I can play on my Xbox and play on my account, and I don't have to be signed into one Xbox, so my kid can play Fortnite online and be tied up so they can play, that I can't play and do anything, you know, because, you know, Xbox has it set up where you can have whatever Xbox you set as your dedicated Xbox, any account on there can sign in, play online, use the Xbox Live option without me having to be signed in. Then you can be on a second console, but on the second console, you have to be logged in order for any account to be able to play online without gold. You know, that's how it was anyway for free to play games. And it still is for paid games. But my kids, you know, are usually playing Fortnite, or, you know, Max lately has been playing a lot of Forza Horizon 4. So like that's fine because like I'm doing stuff anyways. I don't need to be playing games, trying to do stuff around the house or sleeping. One of those two. So you know, it is what it is. I don't mind it being tied up sometimes, but now it's just nice because now both kids can play Fortnite. They can do their thing on it or play together if they want, or I can play with them now. Like we could be like the Douglas crew going in there three as a you know 3-player team, and we can go in there and wreck some people.
Wow.
But no, it's basically it's for people who have kids, you know, people who wanted to buy an Xbox Series S, so they have one that their kids can use. Well, they have the Series X, or people who have an Xbox One X, and you know have either the original Xbox like me, or have a One S that their kids were using, and now they no longer need to be tied up.
So it is beneficial if you own a secondary console, but if you just own one console, like I said, if you own one console, it doesn't really make a big deal. Okay, if you own a second console, then that's where it fits.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's the, like you said, that's the idea of it, having a second console. It just feels to me like, thinking my logical way, that because I own this one console, it doesn't make sense. If I was, for example, if I had Game Pass, which I don't, if I had Game Pass, I'm getting Xbox Live, so it wouldn't even make no sense or anything for me to have, you know, to really celebrate this in a sense. But now I'm seeing it when if there's a second console in the house, then it makes sense.
Well, and I think even more so though, it's for people like me. I think it's because like what makes it beneficial in my opinion now, and I think the reason why Xbox chose now to do it is because a lot of people had multiple Xbox Ones if they were an Xbox family, right?
Yeah.
And now they're getting the Series X. Now all of that is in the same universe or whatever. It's using the same system. So now a lot of the people like me, I have a regular Xbox and I have my Series X and I have my Xbox One X. So now, you know, the kids get those older ones and can use those older ones because to them, they don't care about whether something's 4K or whatever, you know, like they don't care. So now they can use those consoles, play what they want to play without having to have Xbox Live Gold on either of them, and I can now enjoy my new Xbox and not have to be tethered to one of those other ones just so the kids can play.
But it's only for free to play, not for any other multiplayer.
No, just for free to play. But most kids are playing free to play games mostly anyways.
Well, if they're trying to hop on Call of Duty and stuff like that, they can.
Well, they shouldn't be.
But kids do.
Yeah, I know, but they shouldn't be. Yeah, because I mean, like honestly, like my kids are basically it's Roblox, Fortnite, and honestly, a lot of the times they're just watching YouTube or watching TV shows or whatever. Anyways, they, you know, or they'll play on my Switch occasionally. So yeah, I mean, hey, you know, like that if that's, like Max will play. Max plays more games. You know, they do play Hello Neighbor and stuff like that too, but I mean, you know, like they don't really. I mean, that we have like one of the Hello Neighbor games they have physically. And so I don't remember. I guess if you're playing the multiplayer part, you have to be online.
Yeah, you do.
But they there's some single player stuff that they do play occasionally. So
I know we're gonna get to the next story. I actually talked to Corey about Destiny, and I was just like, I wonder if the Destiny should have gave some of their DLC like season packs for free to people who have bought the game. like if you register in the show that you when you like first played this game and everything, which one of the seasons you should get for free. Um,
I mean, that's like anything though. You pay $60 for a game when it comes out new. A month from now, that same game could end up only being $10.
yeah,
And that's just the price you pay to be in
I was
it,
just
earlier. But I get what you're saying though, because yeah, like them making practically the whole entire game for the first couple of years that was released all free now
yeah.
to play is, yeah, I mean, but it's good. It's good for the community though too, because it's going to bring more people in. And I don't I don't, maybe.
Yeah, then they plus they make their money on the DLC, so
Yeah. Yeah, it is what it is, but I think it's good for the brand that they did that, because like, God knows I I was not happy to have to keep on paying $30 every year to get the next, dump of content or whatever. It's a lot of money that adds up when it's constantly you got constant releases coming out. But like it's also my choice. So if you don't want to pay that, then don't buy it. But like, I wanted to play the story. I think I still have a little bit of story left yet on mine that I need to finish, but I mean, for me, it was worth it, just getting to get newer stuff, and all the updates and stuff have really made that game better than what it was.
yeah,
Even for those first 2 years, in my opinion, or whatever. But yeah, it is what it is, But yeah, it's just nice though now that especially people that have, if they want to keep their old consoles like me, and let kids use them, or even other family members, like if someone who maybe was interested in having a console but never really had the money to afford it. And and you want to, a lot of people will donate their old consoles to either family or whatever.
Yeah.
And then this way they've got something that they can either choose to not pay for gold and and play some online games or whatever for free, or do whatever they choose to do. But yeah, it's just a good, I think in all, just a good thing that they're finally recognizing, and seeing that it's best for people who want to buy their products. Like I said, if people are buying multiple products so they can have some for their kids or whatever, I mean, you got to give them a break somewhere. So
yeah,
but because that would be a pain in the butt to be spending, buying 3 years of Game Pass just so your kids can use them is kind of insane to think about, in my opinion, at least until they're older. But so yeah. All right, and then the next one was just kind of a fun little topic, also, like I said, from IGN.com. So there's been rumblings, and from what I understand, this isn't like just something that someone's speculating on or anything, though we may speculate in a little bit here. But Respawn is building a new franchise, apparently. They've took a little fraction of one of the teams or whatever, and are building a new team that they're hiring for. So it's not like they're going to be, losing any talent or anything like that. I'm sure the fraction of the team that they fractured off to make this new team probably still will work with the other teams as well.
Yeah.
It's just they're going to kind of be there to get things off the ground, and build a good team and stuff. But so anytime I hear new franchise, I'm all for it. I'm sure you feel the same way, Ed, but a lot of people have been looking for a new Titanfall game. And this to me, this doesn't necessarily say that we're not going to get a new Titanfall game. It just means they wanna continue to grow, so they can maybe make a Titanfall game and not be stuck having to decide, well, do we want to do this or do we want to make a Titanfall? Like in my opinion, this is a pleasant looking thing that's happening for them, because then I feel like our chances of a new Titanfall is better this way.
Well, this is the thing for me about it. Yay that you guys are doing a new IP, but is it going to be a different genre? Because right now you only got kind of like two genres, and I won't even count Battle Royale or anything, because it's still a first person game that's almost like Titanfall. And the other game that you did was Star Wars, which is a great game, but those are not you only have done two genres of a game, and I know they don't have a lot of games out.
Yeah.
Excuse me. But I want to know what this new IP is. Is it going to be a RPG? And I'm not talking in a sense of. I'm not talking about in the sense of like it's a game. But
Western RPG.
Like I would love to see. I would love to see a Western studio take on a JRPG style game. Mm-hmm. And not just having a game with RPG elements. No, I want to see what you guys would do if you make a Americanized JRPG and how that would look. And I know I know that's not their kind of design philosophy of making games and stuff, but I would love to see that. I would love to see something from them that they have never done, and that I know it's going to have high production value, and I know EA is going to be looking over their shoulder trying to see what they're really doing and stuff. But I would love to see something.
And they'll be like, shoot EA, we know what we're doing.
Exactly. Exactly. Like I would love for them to do something that's going to be unexpected. I don't need an open world game from them. I don't need Uncharted style or adventure game like them. I want something unexpected from them, something new that they have touched or they're gonna do. I don't need anything reflecting like Anthem or some looter shooter. I don't need none of that. I want something very unexpected, because the thing about it is, it could be a new IP, but it better not be the same elements that's been in that drama that's been done time and time over again.
Yeah, This is my theory, is they seen the the praise and what they got for what they did with the Star Wars game, which was essentially a little bit of a step out of their their safe place.
Right.
It was quite a bit different from what they were known for doing. And part of me wonders if maybe they were like, okay, maybe we've proven that we can do something other than just a first person shooter. So let's go crazy with trying to come up with something different. Like something new that we can do that isn't Titanfall or isn't the Star Wars game, because part of me wonders if maybe that Star Wars game proved to EA that they're talented and they can do different stuff outside of just what they're known for. And so they wanted to start another team where they can kind of be their team that lets them come up with new things that they want to try or do. Maybe that's partially hopeful on my point, or on my part, but it's just weird that it happens after they completely diverge from what they're used to doing, and it was pretty successful to them now wanting to make more IP again, when they could easily just fall back into the Titanfall whatever, and just go back to that, and then not try to come up with anything new. But like, I think it's just promising in general that they're wanting to try to do different stuff and not just stick to, like most of EA does, just stick to one thing and then just run it into the ground.
Yeah,
Like,
I kind of would like, and even though yes, this is AX, I kind of like to see what Respawn does from the ground up for Nintendo Switch and a new IP, because that's the thing that they kind of need right now for me. Like, Nintendo has been selling a million. I mean, they've been doing good in sales for their console, and I would love to see if EA and Respawn can make something literally original for that system. Because the thing about it is, like, I know they got the power of Series X, they got the power of PlayStation 5 and PC, and I know they're going to deliver a great experience, but it's going to be like, this is expected. And I want them to do something unexpected. That, I think that's what kind of stands out with Respawn, is that they are a company that can do something unexpected and it turns out great. Mm-hmm. So I would love for them to get their hands on a Nintendo development kit and be like, okay, this is what we got to work with. What kind of art style do you think we could fit? What kind of story do we want to tell? Do we want to make this kind of genre of a game? Like, I want them to experiment and learn this stuff, because EA is going to trust them to be like, oh, you guys are making a game for Nintendo Switch and it looks good. And because the thing about it is, people's going to see it. People are going to be blown away by it. And they're going to be questioning it and be like, wait a minute. Is this the Witcher 3 thing happening all over again? Mm-hmm. But if it's like literally like this is ground up from Respawn, no port company came and helped us. We did this on our own. That will blow everybody away.
Well, here's a question. Like, I agree with you. I would like to see it be something that we do get on Switch and stuff like that. What if they did their just going off of like me and you, both of our what made Titanfall 2 such a great game was they were just phenomenal and did a perfect job with writing,
yes,
storytelling in that game.
Yes.
So what if they did like kind of something more along the lines of like a Life is Strange, or like something more like the what were those the games called, like the ones that had went away for a while and then they came back, the storytelling
adventure games, or like walking simulators.
Yeah, what were there was the Among Us and stuff. I forget what that franchise or what those were called. The Among Us ones. They did the Borderland one.
Oh, the Telltale games.
Yeah, Telltale games. Mm-hmm. Like, what if they were to
episodic games?
Yeah, what if they were to do something similar to that almost, and something that would give them an opportunity to play to their strength of being like a very good, storytelling, and really get a chance to let people focus on the actual story part of their games.
I think people would buy it because they're putting something. I mean, yeah, it is like hypothetically, it will be on Switch, but people will put the headphones. They will read these stories. They will take the stuff on the go and play it, because to them it's a moving book. It's a TV show that they feel that is to it, and they'll probably hit other platforms and stuff. But I think people will be interested because they be like, this is something finally original for Respawn. So then now that leads to, if the sales are good, if it'll probably show Respawn, even if you go back with another port studio to put Titanfall 2 or even Titanfall 3, if you want to get that version ported or get delayed, you would now have a new group of players coming to your coming to them for games. And that's what Respawn will like truly need and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, part of me wonders if if when the Switch Pro comes out, if we will see more stuff get ported over, that that you'll obviously still be able to play on the old Switches, but because there's that 4K capable version of a console there, that they can still, so people can get the full experience of it. Because I think, like, whether you agree with it or not, like, there is, a lot of those games that we don't see coming to Switch, there is a lot of people who, still do care about the frame rates and all those kinds of that aspect of it. And when there isn't a version of that console there yet that can make it perform, at least at the way that it was intended to perform, like, I could see why there would be a hesitation there, but at the same time, like I do believe that there are a lot of people who don't care about that stuff at the end of the day, who would buy it on Switch. But I think from a business standpoint, it's probably a harder sale, because, I mean, let's be honest, for all we know, like Respawn could have wanted to put like Titanfall and stuff on Switch, but at the end of the day, that's not exactly their choice. Like, they don't have full say over that. It still has to be something that's run past EA. And EA as a business is going to be much more.
Well, the creator or the CEO of Respawn, or one of the directors and stuff, already made a statement that why it wouldn't come to Switch. So it's not even them talking to EA. They just don't see Nintendo as something that they feel like it's not worth investing in. It feels like it's something like, no, this doesn't feel what we want to create on and do and stuff. And it's just like, you seeing the sales happening, and it's still not viable to you. Like, it took them a long time to even have the idea of, oh, we should bring Apex Legends. I'm just like, you could have brought a lot of stuff on this console while everybody else was selling. But go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think again, like from a business standpoint, I do understand when companies do that, because unfortunately, it is kind of a roll of the dice. And, like, I mean, there are going to be people who are gonna guaranteed buy your product, but they like, at the end of the day, they also don't want to make a decision that ends up, like, bringing bringing EA breathing down their neck, watching them close, like some of their other ones, other companies or developers there. But, like, because I mean, did Apex come to Switch?
It finally released on Switch. And everything, they finally brought it, but it took them.
I think that was a game, though, that just feels like it would fit on Switch. It's kind of like we got Cuphead on Switch and stuff. Like, there's certain games that a company makes that fit on Nintendo really well.
It's sometimes, yes, that is true, but, like, people are saying that they are willing to do it, and people are like, there got to be someone paying attention to that. And someone at Respawn could have, and we'll get back to the IP thing, the new IP thing. Someone at Respawn should have been paying attention to be like, oh, wait a minute, Doom sold 1 million, Wolfenstein sold 1 million, Skyrim is selling 1 million, The Witcher 3 is selling 1 million. All of these games that are ports are selling 1 million. And Titanfall 2 didn't do so well. It did okay, but it didn't do so well when it came out for PlayStation and Xbox. So to test the waters, to be like, let's try and put Titanfall 2 on the system and see where it goes. Because if Titanfall 2 would have came to Switch and it was way successful over Xbox and PlayStation 4, then that's gonna open up Respawn eyes to be like, oh, we may regret what we said and everything.
Yeah.
So if they do go with a new IP, I already know the new IP is gonna probably be for Xbox One, Series X, S, PlayStation 4, PC, PlayStation 5, and it's gonna look gorgeous. They're gonna invest in, I don't know what engine they'll use and stuff. It's gonna look gorgeous. Their ideas is going to like really just flourish and stuff. But they can't go back to doing what they already know what to do. If it's another first person shooter just under another banner, with some different ideas, yeah, it's great for a new IP, but you've done this before. It's once again to be like, okay, it's another first person shooter. Let's see what this is about. And yeah, it may be great. It may be a fun game, but it's not gonna wow people or anything. It'll be like, oh, it's another game for Respawn.
Yeah, now, the thing is though, is, like just the fact that Apex Legends is on Switch, that means that we know they now have a Switch dev kit, right? So I mean, there is that to remember. They do have a dev kit, so we know that if whatever this new thing is, if they really want to, make something that can be on Switch as well, they've got a dev kit there to try to make it work. So, and like I said, now with a Switch Pro coming out, we could probably see it, even more of a possibility. But yeah, like as far as this goes, yeah, like I'm excited. From an Xbox standpoint, it's we know that whatever it is, it will be available for us. And yeah, and I hope, like they're still in the process of hiring
getting
people.
The team. Yeah.
So this is probably not something that we will see pay off for at least another 4 years.
Right.
So I'm sure they have some drawings and some concept art and stuff like that of ideas that they want to exercise and run across people and stuff like that.
Don't get me wrong, it'll be a game that I'll probably end up buying because I like Respawn. I think they're a great developer. I just really hope that I just hope that they, with this new team, they really bring something new. If this is a new IP, it needs to be new.
They're literally the reason I bought an Xbox One. So because like I was like day one, like I was all in on Titanfall. So like, the first one. So
I didn't. It was Rise of the Tomb Raider for me.
yeah. But I'm more, I'm more of a multiplayer game player. So like for me, the fact that Titanfall didn't really have a campaign was, at that time in my life was like, that's fine. You give me a really cool multiplayer experience that's unique and like something that we haven't seen in a little while, done well. I was fine with that and all for it. And it was an amazing multiplayer game.
Yeah.
But 2 definitely was like, 2 proved to me that you need a campaign in this game because we can do a kick-ass campaign. So
right.
And now it's gotten to the point where they can make a campaign game without multiplayer, and I'd be fine with that.
Exactly.
So, but I, obviously I'd still want both, but yeah, that Titanfall 2 is right up there with like Portal 2 and Resident Evil and all those games that I love. Like, overall, it's up there with some of my favorite of all time. So yeah, whatever this new stuff is, I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, and if there was ever a team of developers that I believed in a lot, it's these guys. So I'm not even slightly worried about what it will be. Either it'll be something different, or maybe it won't be as different as maybe you're wanting, Ed. But I know whatever it is, and like you said, whatever it is probably going to be good. So
yeah.
So yeah, so that's our news. Yeah, I don't really have any extra content today because we barely had regular content.
Exactly.
So all right. So we'll wrap it up with that then. And Ed, where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at that retro code. Check out Nintendo Power Block live on Twitch 7:30, 8:30, or you can catch the recorded show on Wednesdays and on Spotify, iTunes, and Anchor, and more podcast apps. Check out Optional Opinion on SoundCloud. I'll be getting more episodes out soon. I'm sorry, I do apologize for that. Been very busy. And World 11 podcast. I got to. Talking about being busy, I got so much optional opinion like titles that I still got to go through, that I got to record, and it's some really good ones that I think a lot of people are going to be enjoying. But yeah, you can check it out. Check that out on SoundCloud, iTunes, also, and other podcast apps.
At one weekend, you're gonna turn your phone off, turn everything off, lock yourself away in a room, and he's just gonna record like 8 podcasts.
Exactly. Exactly.
Ed will be smoking a cigarette and drinking coffee.
I still feel you. I'm on my 19th episode.
All right, and you can find me as Phantom NXS almost everywhere, including like I have music on SoundCloud, SoundClick. You can find me there as Phantom NXS. Yeah, and as well as on Xbox Live. So yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about what.
Oh yeah, you guys can find me on Xbox Live at the lyrical one.
Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about Fortnite is every single game that you play, you'll always get an invite from some random person on there, and it's just like, please no. Like, can I just turn this off where people can't add me? So yeah, but all right, we'll throw up the X.
Yes.
Because we're about to exit. You guys have a good week.
Bye, everybody.